the meeting to order. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the November meeting?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I guess we'll just jump right over to the report from.
Yeah, we
Rec.
had a meeting last month, and what we did was we talked about CPC articles again. And we're still waiting to hear, we got 3 priorities out there that we submitted to CPC, and we're waiting to find out what's going on with the money. I guess Dave Nixon had a meeting with the financial director, and they're trying to get a sense of how much money is coming into the town via the CPC dollars and so on. So no action was taken again on the CPC articles or projects that we have in mind. We did approve the new fencing for Brooks Park. That was $5,000 over budget, and we're going to take the $5,000 thereabouts, that kind of money, and take it out of the revolving fund to get it done. The fencing down at the Memorial Field, the softball field, that was $24,000 over the original. The low bid came in $24,000 higher, okay? And so we put that on hold. We're not doing anything. We're just gonna try to fix those fields, those fences down here, because there were some gaping holes with the girls,
Yeah.
And the senior men's. We're gonna try to just fix them, repair them, and just move on for the time being. Discussion was, should we then resubmit, and we decided, my sense was, let's just leave it alone, just see if we can get a few dollars, see if we can fix those fences and move on rather than going through the whole process again. It took us 2.5 years to get the thing, the RFPs and everything out there, so we're not gonna go through that again. So that was pretty much the discussion. That's basically it.
Alrighty, well,
Thank you.
welcome Ralph, Happy New Year.
Hi, Will.
Happy New Year, folks. Sorry to be a few minutes late.
No worries. Well, you're up.
Well, I really had nothing to report except that the COA van was rear-ended recently, not terribly seriously. The driver broke his foot, unfortunately.
Wow.
The damage to the van is relatively minor, as I understand it, but it's back in service, I believe. But essentially, that's it for COA. There's nothing really else of any consequence to report.
Okay.
Oh, and we just met the program specialist too. He just came in to say hello.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah,
young man.
yes, I should have mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought of it when he
Right, yep.
One of the other things, I'm sorry, I forgot, if I may.
Sure.
We did talk about, I brought up the need for another custodian here to the rec commission members. And Eric was supposed to be here, but I guess he's out sick again today. But they were notified and they were told that there was a desperate need for a custodian here from the 2 to 2 on shift. And they are in support of, they being the members are in complete support of getting someone in here, getting another custodian. They were all wondering where the money went to, where that person went, why did that person go, where did that person went, type of thing. Those were the questions that were raised, and they just felt that it was not really productive to not have one here. So
Thank you.
you got support from the rec commission on that. And then we also talked about the back here, the field out in back that's being built, and under whose jurisdiction does that come under, and the sense was, since it's part of the building, it's you and Eric work together on it, so.
Correct.
Yeah. But one of the things we need to, as I spoke to you about it already, we gotta make sure that there's no drinking out there. Guys tend to wanna have a beer after the game, and so I'm making it perfectly clear to these folks that you can't do that around here because it's too active, too many kids around, it's a public facility, we just cannot tolerate it, and we're not gonna permit that to happen. So I will bring it up to the softball board when I meet with them.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Well, since old business custodial seems to be the topic at hand.
So we did invite, I just want to go on record, we did invite the highway department, both the director and facilities manager. We had invited them at the prior meeting and they could not attend. They could not attend this meeting. The recreation director was invited to this meeting, but clearly is sick, and the COA director was invited, and she had an emergency this morning. But I feel very strongly that it's not something we can keep pushing off. Budgets are due, and this is going to be, it really is becoming a huge problem in the community center. So if I can just highlight, in case people are watching that don't know, the community center prior to COVID has had custodial coverage from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. The hours that the building is open. There has always been a custodian in the building.
Right.
When COVID happened, I understand that there was a new directive from the health department and towns that every building had to have cleaning. Certainly, we understand that. No one questioned it. The highway department is doing the best with what they had. They took custodians and moved them around and made a standardized schedule. Every custodian, this is my understanding of it, and I apologize that they're not here, but my understanding is the custodians work from 6 a.m. until 2 o'clock. And then there is someone who floats on the Saturday, but Monday through Friday, 6 to 2, which may be working for other buildings. I truthfully don't know. But if you think about it, a lot of the other buildings close, like Town Hall closes at 4 o'clock. So from 2 to 4 is not bad not to have a custodian. And they just have the public coming in and leaving, but we are open until 9 p.m. And
Right.
we don't just have people coming in to go to an office. We have people who are having events here. We are hosting large events within the building. There are room setups. And one of the things that we have all talked about before is maybe we don't do setups, but I have checked with our insurance carrier at the direction of the administration, and we can't allow a group or organization to be setting up tables and chairs, because if they set it up incorrectly and it falls on someone, the town is then liable.
Right.
So it has come down to, I have done more room setups and cleaning of restrooms than I would care to share with anyone, and that's not a good use of my time. I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm gonna look at all of you. It is not
It's not
that
your
I.
job.
Not your job.
And that's fine, we all share those things, but I'm not then getting to do the job that I need. And also, we have people in the afternoon who we only have part-time. I think that's important for us to look at too. The community center consists of 2 full-time employees. I am one, and Sam is the other. So that's it. That doesn't cover the amount of hours we're open. So we then have our part-time people who are from the revolving funds that oversee the weight room, who we utilize in as many ways as humanly possible. So they're helping with setups and breakdowns, but it's just not feasible to be doing all that we need to do. This building is getting more busy, which is exactly what we want. We want to be having the concern of, I have to move rooms around. I have to break down from Brian's group to set up a Van's group. That is the success of the building. But if I have to break down from Brian's group and I have no one to do it, and I have Van's group and then I have Angie's group down the hall, we're just not functioning how this building should. I think that we really need to look at that and make a strong case. And I wanted to invite Link and Sean, because I'm not speaking against them at all. I wanted to support them and say, what can we do to help you get what you need? Because we need more coverage in this building. The building is not as clean as it was, of no fault of anyone else. One person can't keep up. By the time he comes in at 6 a.m, he's breaking down from the night before. And,
Right.
You all know, because you're in this building, how many people use it. And on a day like today, for those who don't know, it's rainy and wet. So we're going to be checking those entrances so that it's safe. These are part of the concerns.
You make a compelling, just made a very compelling argument or discussion as to why we should do it. has that same argument or that compelling message been given to the administrator?
So I'm gonna say that I make that same argument that I tell you to anyone who will listen.
Yeah, but
I
does he know?
recently,
Does
I
he know?
recently met with the assistant town administrator and expressed this.
Yeah.
So I know that it has gone there. I can't say because, again, I can only tell you what the building needs, and it's not in my budget, so. But I did have a conversation with the assistant town administrator.
I was wondering, I realize that all these men have busy schedules. I am just wondering if we could set up a meeting at their convenience, and even though it's off from our meeting time, and we meet with like Link and the town administrator. So if they say we only have Monday at 9 o'clock, could we say, okay, some of us will show up and we'll meet with you?
I will do whatever. I mean, I can.
I think we talked about that at one of the
Yeah.
meetings. We'll meet with them
Whenever they want.
anytime
Yeah.
they have
Right.
the time to give us, because it's a very important issue. And
agree.
we have to succumb to their time and so on. So let's do it, let's see if we can get a time that they will commit, and some of us will be there, okay?
Ken, there's really no excuse that
No.
you can't make a
I know it.
pre-planned month ahead
Well,
meeting.
this is the second time.
Put it on your calendar
Right.
and meet.
This is the second time. We had a meeting set up for last month, and nobody showed up, or we couldn't get them because there were excuses or reasons why they couldn't make it. Now we set up this time, to have people available. and
There's no excuse.
Same story.
Well,
Don't
if you
sit
put it
there
back
and
in
say-
their court, then it puts them on the
Yeah.
spot.
So I will draft a letter and certainly keep all of you on it. However, because I don't want to violate open meeting, you can't have any dialogue. This is just informational.
Right.
Asking them to give me a time that will
Right.
work, and then
Right. And we'll
That's
even
fine.
go to where they want us to be.
wherever they would like to meet.
But how do we,
exactly.
well, okay, there's my open meeting question. Because if we set another meeting, don't we have to post the meeting then?
Yes, we can do that.
You can do it even
you
if it's
just
short
can't-
notice?
Well, you have to have 48
48
hours.
hours.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't
you-
know, isn't that a little much to ask them?
No. And again, this is nothing negative about them. I understand
Right.
the reasons why. And I know everyone's busy, but I want to come at it from, let's find a solution. It's not to argue with anyone or say, it's about getting what we need and how we can help each other.
Right.
So that's where I'm coming from. I only want to help. I want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Right.
Tell me what to do and I'll do it. If you need a letter, if you need all of us to show up, if you need me to ask the people in the building who are now having to have longer times between when they can meet, because
Who's the key person behind this link?
he is in charge of,
Yeah, but is he
Sean's
the
in
key-
charge
is
of
he
the
key,
custodian.
Catalyst that really would, if we can convince him that he can
It would
take-
have to go in his budget,
Okay,
correct?
So why don't, if push comes to shove, we'll even meet down his office down there.
Sure.
Sure,
You know?
sure. But I think the issue, if you push liability, people pay attention. When they realize, oh my God, this could cost us money, more money than hiring a custodian.
But so did we lose custodians from pre-pandemic to today? Do we not have the same count? Head
I
count?
can't answer that.
Okay.
I,
That's okay.
I don't know the actual answer. I do know that they have been reassigned to buildings
Yeah.
that they had not done in the past, but I don't know if we got more, or I do know that we have someone who's about to retire as a custodian, so I know they're looking. I do see a new gentleman walking around who seems very nice, getting trained, so, but he's gonna be the regular 6 to 2 shift. So he is a replacement for a custodian who left to go to another town, so I don't see additional custodians.
Right.
Brian,
And-
what I understand was that the fellow that was on the 2 to 9 shift was moved into the cultural center and moved up there.
I honestly don't know I only know of one custodian that's over there, a woman, and
Valerie.
yes, I don't know about,
This is what we would like to believe, that maybe that custodian was moved up there for the pickleball and to take care of the cultural center.
I could not say truthfully, I have no idea.
Not for the pickleball. Valerie is there every morning at 8 o'clock.
They were moved up there, somebody was moved to another, we thought maybe up the cultural center.
I don't know where, but I do know they have to, that Sean and Link were charged with covering buildings that they had never had to do
Right.
before.
Right.
So, you know, in fairness to them, I'm sure they could explain it much
No,
better
no,
than I
I get
can.
it if there's buildings to be cleaned, but I mean, the cultural center is, you
It's
know,
okay.
I mean, it's like all the buildings, like you're talking about town hall. There's still all those people and it's not the same use.
It is
You
not
know,
the same
people
use.
walk in and
Go to an
Walk
office,
out.
do business.
go to an office and leave.
Right,
They're not requiring room setups and changes and stuff
correct.
like that. Different requirements.
May I ask why they are not here today?
I can tell you that Eric was sick. Julie had an emergency. The highway director had take his wife to an appointment,
Personal matter, okay.
and Sean, I believe, is also off Cape with a family member.
Okay. I wanted to be sure we weren't being ignored.
Not at all,
Okay,
no.
okay.
I just,
Good,
you know,
satisfied.
yes,
All right, well, throw it back in their court and let's see what happens.
I will for sure.
Exactly.
Terrific, I will do that, but I just wanted us to be on the same page because I do believe it's important. We are, you know, and I do have staff that are struggling to get this done. It is not part of their job description. They are working outside of it, and at some point, I don't know what happens if they say,
Just look at another way to approach this. I'm just thinking out loud, if you will. Now you got to put your budget together. I know this is not within your budget.
correct.
What if you did put it in your budget and you took it to the powers to be when you give your budget presentation and see what their response is? Just as a,
There you go.
That's a good
Add a
idea.
person.
yeah,
Add a custodian.
yeah. Put
Two
it in
to-
there and just.
to
tell
2 to
them,
9.
Yeah, exactly. And let the finance committee or people who deal with your budget, give them your same, you know, explanation and description of what the needs are and what's happened here. And you got the support of members of the building are in full support of this. And then let's see where they take it. What the heck, it's not gonna hurt.
Right, right.
All I can say is, sorry, see you later, you
Yeah.
know, go see Link, you know, whatever.
But at least it's on the table.
Yeah.
And not to beat a dead horse, but I would ask that in the letter you stress or at least make note of liability.
Absolutely,
Right,
yep.
that's a big
Right.
factor.
That could be a serious,
Absolutely, and honestly, I will tell you that I had been doing it on a very regular basis, and I was like, I couldn't pick up a chair, my back was, I mean, it's different work than and I have, you all know, I have set up and broke down more rooms in this building and have no problem, but when you're consistently doing it and trying to do it in a hurry, because you have two people waiting in your office to do, it was, I can see where,
How much money is this position, you know?
I don't know the range of a custodian. I can certainly look it up, but I don't know that.
but that's not really our concern. Our
Right,
concern is
right,
we
right.
want somebody to fix the building.
Correct. And whatever they need, if they need us to write a letter, whatever the support is that we can give
Well,
them.
you've got full support of the committee, I know that.
So that's
Right.
that's what we're looking for.
Okay, so we'll leave the horse alone for now. I have a weird side question. Who's in charge of like the gutters?
The what?
Gutters.
On this building,
The gutters.
that would be facilities maintenance,
There aren't
Sean
any.
Libby.
Okay, because
There are, it's bent.
yeah,
It's
the
on
front
a work
one.
order, yep.
Okay. I just saw it just pouring
Yep.
out of the
Yeah,
front
right.
of the gutter,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, that's useful.
No,
I saw this coming in the side.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
okay. Guess we'll move on to new business if there is any.
I will just update you that the budgets have been sent in, but there is the budget meeting with the selectmen and everyone, and that's on the March 4th, which is a Saturday here in this building. They used to do it, I don't know if you remember, everyone goes in front of them, so, but I will see if I can make the addition to our budget still. I don't think anyone has vetted it, so I will put that in and.
You have to go first to finance committee on that?
They all meet together.
Okay.
It's on that March 4th. They all are
Finance
there at
committee,
once. And the selectmen and the administration. In our budget, as you all know, we are level service. However, that is not a level funded budget because the cost of trash pickup has increased, the cost of the lighting has increased and gas has increased. And so our budget has not gone up in any service. We are still doing what we do. It's just a much more expensive budget based on the cost of living
Right.
and what people are charging. So I've included all that information in the budget that I submitted.
Okay.
Very good.
Anything else? Your director's update?
I was just going to go through a few things with you. We have done 2 events so far in January. We did the Great Gift Exchange, and then we just did the bicycle information on bike session. The bike session was booming, 31 people in a small room. It was great. If you walked in this morning, you saw there is a group of gentlemen who are looking at putting in the computer station that we had talked about right outside my office. So they're taking measurements, and that's exciting. We are looking to work with them. I wanted to.
Who are those folks, by the way?
They are a woodworking group in the town, and they only charge you for the materials. Their labor and services are free, so it's a wonderful. They've built quite a few things for us here in this
cool.
building, so we're happy. And it's not something that the highway department can do. I couldn't find one to purchase, so this is a lovely way to work with the community. So.
Sure.
Just a few things. February is the community center's birthday month. We will be 23. The first week in February, we are doing decorate a duck, so people can come in and get a duck. I think it's the first 60 people get a duck. They decorate the duck. Then we will do ducks on display. The ducks will be in this building, and people will come in and vote on ducks. And then there'll be a duck winner who will be the mascot for the building for this year. And then we're going to hide 10 ducks throughout the property and just do a one-day duck hunt here. So that's one of the things. On February 15th is the second of our bike events. February 21st, we're having the Mad Scientist back to do a science show. That's school vacation week, so that's at 2 o'clock. On the 23rd, we're doing an indoor yard sale, also during school vacation week. And then on the 27th is the Tea with Me program of February, where we will be discussing the cost of room rentals, what it looks like. And I know I have mentioned to this board before, but one, we don't have the custodians that we talked about. So what's happening is that a lot of people are booking rooms, large rooms, I'm going to say like a 75-person setup, and then they're just not showing up. So I am looking at finding some way to say, that might happen once and we can overlook that, but if it's happened consistently, there should be some kind of fee that is charged for that.
Like the doctor's office, you miss an appointment, you still have to pay.
Something like that. I don't know what it is. And honestly, I just really, it's not about the money and the revenue. It truthfully is that if the custodian's setting up that 75 room setup, they're not
It's taking
setting up
time.
the others, and then we have to break it down for the next setup. So we're trying very hard to make it more accountable of what you're doing in this
You need a
building.
commitment to it.
Is that setup something that's one time or revolving, or you know what I'm saying? Is it scheduled?
So they're always scheduled with us, but then, so your group might decide on its own, like senior softball might, and senior softball's not one of the groups, might be like, oh, we don't need to meet this week. So then they decide amongst themselves, but they forget to tell us. So we're
Gotcha.
setting it up, the room's not available for someone else, so we're trying to make that,
Well, there's always if you do it a couple times, you no longer have the room.
So I don't want to, I really want to work with the people. I want to make
I
this,
understand that.
I want to make it work, but that I want people to understand also what goes into setting up and breaking down those
Yeah,
rooms.
right.
Because I think that if you knew that, then it would be a simple call to us
Right.
to say, we're not coming in.
Nothing wrong with the little consideration.
So that's one of the areas. I think that one of the things that this board has talked about before is looking at what we are. It used to be $165 for 104 uses. I think that that is a little misleading because some group will meet for one time, but it's 7 hours. And another group meets for, 3 times, but it's 15 minutes at each shot. So we're looking at how we're gonna maybe look at units of time
Right.
that they're booking instead.
There is no 7-hour booking period.
Right, so that it's more equitable for everyone. We're looking at the weight room fees and those kind of things. So I am really encouraging the public to come because just like the last time when they said, COVID, we haven't been able to build our coffers, this board listened and said, okay, but we told them then it would be coming up. So it's been a whole year and we haven't raised our rates. So we should really look at that.
Carolyn, the last time we had public meetings and the people we spoke with were fully encouraging us to raise the room rates.
Right. They did ask us to wait because they hadn't had an opportunity to build up their coffers because they hadn't been able
Right.
to fundraise, which is exactly what we did. So,
But they were fully behind us doing it.
gonna bring that right back to them and ask. And the other thing is that I am working on, that I'll be happy to announce at our next meeting, I hope, ideas of expanding and changing the weight room. As you all know, one of the busiest rooms in the building. And we do need to expand it somehow, so trying to come up with some creative solutions. So I will present that to all of you as I move forward and get some hard facts on it. So, but that is one of the areas that we're looking at. We definitely, the machines in the room are too close. And we want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable utilizing that room. So,
Okay.
It'll be interesting, I look at this building, I don't see where, what room is available to do that. You're gonna be a genius if you can find a place.
wow, I'm going to take that challenge. I think I
There you
have
go.
one, so I'm going to take it.
I meant to ask, because I've not been in the room where Eric Beebe's always exercising on the machine in his office. I don't know how big that room is. Is
Very
that-
small.
It's
The
very
tiny
small.
one
I
with
haven't
the
been
two
in it. So
machines
I
in
didn't-
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just
there's-
asking because I hadn't been in it, so,
There are two
Yeah,
machines in there,
that's-
that's it.
yeah, well, forget that idea.
Eric owns one and there's another.
No, that is not true. That is not true. No, 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 no.
No, it's good
Eric
that he's
can put his
working
own
out,
in
but,
his
I
office,
didn't know if it was,
No,
Yeah.
so yeah, really look forward to updating you on that. I think that with some creative moves, and again, what this committee does, and certainly what I'm charged with, is doing the best we can do for everyone in the community.
Right.
It's not about where my office is or Angie's, it's about how we can get more use of this building for the public. And that's what I focus on. It's never about an individual. As long as a department can run their operation, I say that we make sure that we're giving everyone the best that we can, utilizing the space that we have in this building, so.
Carol and I spoke about this at one time earlier this week, last week. And I discussed or mentioned the basement.
yeah. I was thinking of that too, but I
Taking
don't know
over
where
the
all the
whole
storage and the
basement.
town stuff,
And you could have a beautiful weight room downstairs. But I guess you were concerned about access and egress.
Yeah.
all
And the
that.
Yeah.
cost and all those
Cost,
things.
yeah, yeah.
It has been on the
But it
agenda
could-
before, and I can bring it back.
You could put it as a capital project,
Sure,
Yeah.
sure,
It
but
doesn't
I
have to
think
be
we'll
done,
have some
2 or 3 years down the
solutions.
road, as a capital project and.
Absolutely, we'll look into that, and get some information.
Is there any way that they could ever add on to the community center? I mean, or
We
do we
brought
have
that
no,
up too the
no
other day.
land, or, I mean,
Put it
I
in-
have no clue.
Put an addition out by the back of the gym.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
No,
Expand the weight room back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take Van's challenge and show you that I can be a genius and come up with a solution to.
All right.
good.
Sure,
The
there's not going to be any
interim part.
bathrooms anymore, but hey,
Exactly
it's
what
okay.
that- No more meeting rooms, but,
No, you'll
They'll just be
see.
very small meeting rooms.
Creative uses,
Creative uses,
and
this
keeping
is a
in
nice
mind.
room.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind that this room has helped us tremendously. This is a prime example of a department working to help the community. So if we were not meeting in here, we would be in an activity room, which would take it offline for someone else. But Channel 18 was kind enough to do a room setup so we could be televised and continue to not take a room offline. This is exactly, they are exemplary in showing what we can do when we work
The
together.
rec commission voted to commit to this room for their meetings hereafter.
It's
They want
excellent.
public
They-
access.
Yeah.
So Channel 18 is the model to watch on what to do. That this is someone's office, but they're allowing people to utilize the space as well. So these things are really exactly what I'm talking about. What's best for the public?
How many people do you think, I mean, what do you think is the number offhand that people are watching these meetings while we're here? Do you have a sense of?
Millions. It's Channel 18 millions. I'm sure that we are. I'm not sure. You can actually. I'll look on YouTube and see how many views that we get.
Really?
So,
Be interesting. to know how
but
many people-
you know,
We
even
are
if it's
a really
two,
exciting group.
Yeah, right.
I think that you have to look at it that even if we reach out and reach two other people that couldn't get here, they are far exceeding what we're doing. And I think it's important for the public to always have access if they want to go back and look and see what we talked
Are
about.
there any
So,
other committees that use this?
lots of committees use this. I know the cemetery
Really?
committee was in here earlier, and
COA.
COA uses it, and yeah, they have really helped out the building quite a bit.
Right, and once we get Ralph on social media,
Yeah.
he'll practically be an influencer with all the followers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then the TikTok videos are coming.
Exactly.
I've got it. I see it.
And so once we get that group of people, you know.
And
it's
we're gonna
like-
draw a pickleball court.
Exactly.
Right.
We'll have the pickleball following and,
Yep.
you know, so it just
Wow.
expands
Are you running it
from
now?
Ralph.
Pardon?
Are you running a pickleball now that Frank is down south?
Not really, I'm not running it, but I'm doing it all the time.
Right.
But
Who's coordinating it all?
nobody really, we just self-administer.
Okay. So anybody have any other things that they would like to discuss?
Why, who is our liaison with the select board?
Julie Kavanaugh.
And she's aware of these meetings?
She is.
Okay.
She does work, but she gets our agenda, minutes, and she always asks if there's anything she needs or anything we need. So she does reach out.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you still thinking about the pavilion out and back, you and Eric?
Honestly, I had not. I know that it was put on hold when the price came in. I'm not saying it's off the table, but I'm looking at doing some things internally, like some weight room shifting and some things
So
like that.
that's not a priority right now.
Right. I'd like, it's always here, and I think it's one of those things we need to get into a plan so that it can be expanded, because I think it's a great idea. I think the more that we can utilize this building in different ways, inside and out, the better it is for the community.
Right.
So,
With the expansion, I mean, if somebody scrapped the pool and said that that's never going to happen, then you could at least push out into that courtyard that you were talking about putting the pavilion in. Building expansion wise.
right.
One quick question about the gym. It's not air conditioned,
Correct.
but a lot of cold air blows down. Is that, who controls that and how?
Sean Libby, the facilities director.
Okay. And is it on a timer or something? But in the middle
I
of
will
games,
ask him if
sometimes
he
it
can
is.
give us a breakdown of how
Yeah,
it
it
operates.
is really cold in there some days on, when it need not be. It's cold outdoors and it's cold inside. So just a quick question. I've
As a
spent lot of
follow-up
time-
to that, you were going to talk about, or you're going to think about putting in some fans for the winter in the gym? Where are you with that?
It is in my budget still.
Okay.
So it would be next, it's in the upcoming budget, so,
It's not this winter.
right. Well, not the summer, winter,
Yeah. So it's
so
fiscal
it would go,
24.
it is still in there, yes.
Fiscal 24.
So far it is, yep.
You know, I had one other question. You know the land next door to the parking lot?
I
On
do,
this side?
I do.
Who owns that? Does anybody know? It's just
Yes.
idle land.
What
No,
land- what-
somebody owns and
Yeah.
pays their taxes.
Okay. It used to be the shack hangout, that's why I'm just asking. And I was thinking
Yeah.
that could be another possible for future, if it's just idle. and-
Well, the one across the street, you know, as you go up the street here, all that woods, it's all part of the rec land.
On what side? What side of the street
As
you
you go,
on?
as you go into, you know, as you go into the back of the, not the high school, but the other road, just right out here.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, going up towards where the baseball fields are.
Oh, I know, you're on the other side,
All
okay.
those woods in there.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
all-
know that,
It's all
yeah.
available, that's all,
Right,
that's
right.
all rec,
Yeah,
that's all rec,
property.
properties, if
Yeah.
you know.
I was just thinking on
Yeah.
this side of the street, it's for future use, and just,
Right. Okay.
Your next meeting is scheduled for February 10th.
I'll call it at 10:36.